Lights, camera, and rush duel. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're here to talk about episode 82 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime series. An episode that sets up a few interesting matchups while we take a look at how the vanishing of memories affected our beloved characters. So first and foremost, let's talk about Luke, suggesting that plan to reenact the Birth of Rush Duel's event in order to trigger the memories that have been erased from our characters. This was a crazy suggestion, but I loved what the show delivered upon this, as we ended up with a lot of light-hearted but comedic skits between our characters, like the ridiculous auditioning for character roles, or Garlean being Roa. This scene made me laugh like crazy. I loved it. Now, I've seen a few comments from people saying that this was just another one of Luke's dumb ideas, but I have to actually disagree with those comments, as the group really didn't have any idea of how they're going to solve this current situation. Even Yuga said there was nothing that could be done, and Yuga always has a plan or knowledge of what's going on, so this came to me as a bit of a surprise and shock. So Luke suggesting this idea, and it actually turning out pretty favourable in terms of results. Well done, Luke. Now, while we were on the topic of Yuga, I do want to mention that line from him in where he states that it was a good thing that the Monster Reborn cards were destroyed, because this confirmed that Yuga doesn't want to use those cards because they manipulate a person's heart and mind. However, there is still a problem. 3 out of the 4 Monster Reborn cards were destroyed. The 4th, of course, being the first card that Yuo created to first seal away Goha Yuga in the past. And if this card were to resurface, then I can see 2 possibilities happening moving forward. Number 1, Yuga has to decide whether or not to use that 4th Monster Reborn to seal away Goha Yuga. Number 2, Goha Yuga somehow has that card already. Maybe one of Nanaho's ninjas disguised himself as a Goha employee and found out where the card was stored and kept, and he now has it in his possession, which then would be revealed later on when we get Goha Yuga versus Oda Yuga as the protagonist versus antagonist match-off. Of course, that duel would need some stakes and some stipulations, but what's to say that Goha Yuga wouldn't try to be completely chaotic and create more despair for Yuga by allowing Yuga to restore his friend's memories, only to have them all together and try to vanish them again with the ritual right in front of Yuga, sending the message that basically states, you can remind your friends all you like about their past, but I will keep drowning you in despair, Oda Yuga. And of course, that would be kind of a cool way to do things. Either way though, I'm sure that 4th Monster Reborn card is still going to play an important role moving forward. I honestly can't see Oda Yuga using the card to seal away Goha Yuga, because that's just not in our protagonist's sort of personality. But like I said, we do need something that creates tension and stakes for the final duel between our protagonist and antagonist, and I think that card will be a key element. Real quick, going back to Luke's character, did he swear? Luke, that's not very protagonistic. Okay, so let's talk about Gakuto. His new version was really interesting. He became even stricter and carried a much more aggressive tone. Gone the kimono, and hello guard uniform. The thing that I love most about this change in Gakuto was the fact that the way in which he was acting was very in line with the Goha drone / doll character's personality. By this I mean at the start of Sevens, Goha City felt like a locked down city, where everyone was forced to comply and do what they were told, or suffer the consequences. No one could step out of line. It was very strict and everything was tightly monitored. And we saw this from Gakuto's character in this episode when at school. He was very precise about the details and how everything should be in line and followed to the letter. Gakuto acted very cold and distant, and he certainly would not be fixing any school roofs anytime soon. Now, I guess another really cool thing relating to Gakuto's character from this current episode would be the fact that the ritual has changed him more than we first initially thought. The ritual hasn't changed Gakuto back to his episode 1 persona. Instead, it's similar but still very much different. This was very reminiscent to the fact that once Yuo got ritualed by Goha Yuga, Yuo has acted very much childlike and toddler-like almost, which is different than how we see him act just before Yuo seals away Goha Yuga in the past. Now, of course, this display from Gakuto was great, as it does offer something different and a new challenge to overcome. Plus, it also helps me as the viewer believe that other characters who have been ritualed might be something or seem slightly different than we know from them already. For example, without Roa telling Romin to spy on Yuga, Romin might be serious about not wanting or even caring about dueling in the first place. So this would create an issue, because our heroes like Yuga and Luke would have to convince Romin to duel, which could be even more difficult now that she has basically no interest or no desire to do so. You could argue the fact that upon spying on Yuga in episode 1, Romin was inspired by Yuga's rush duels, and that's what triggered her to actually want to give it a go in the first place. So without that, what's there to do, apart from Primarina Katana and possibly Princess G? Now, we had the topic of characters losing something else that was important to them thanks to this ritual. And if I had to guess what Roa could have lost after this event, I would imagine it would be his self-importance / ego. As we've all seen how much Roa likes to be the center of attention and make everything all about himself. However, he wasn't there when Romin was playing the guitar in this episode, representing Roa Romin. So that in itself was a little bit strange. Plus, if we're going with this idea of characters that have a connection with their ritualized character counterpart, so basically we've got Garlean versus Asana and Sebastian versus Nail, then we could get to see Getter versus Roa once again. Getter could try to remind Roa about how he used to outshine everybody, and boom, memories are returned. Ranze being Romin this episode was great. It was an absolute blast to see how Ranze managed to carry out her wish. But another character that really got time to shine was Rinosuke, as he helped lit the fire of passion and desire in the other characters, which in turn encouraged them to go against their memory-lost friends. Now, when looking at the dynamic of these characters and the relationship they have with their opponents, it's rather commendable that they're standing up against them. Rinosuke, Sebastian, and Garlean all see their current opponents as role model figures. So the idea of them even thinking about defying the wishes of them and standing up against them and dueling them is crazy. But I have to respect it, because their respect and loyalty to Asana, Nail, and Gakuto is massive. To the point where they're even risking everything that they know, just trying to win them back. And I really do like the fact that we have these characters dueling instead of the typical main character saves everyone and beats the big bad villain in the end. Will Rinosuke, Sebastian, and Garlean all win their duels? Well, I'm not really sure about that. However, Sebastian and Garlean do have maximum summoning, so this should be interesting. I'm not sure how Asana's maximum got recreated, because we did see that maximum get disintegrated during the Asana Yuga duel. However, it's a possibility that Caterpillar, Dovrap, and Chevelle all gave Garlean their ID cards to remake this maximum monster. Another quick question would be, will Nail's deck even do anything? Because he doesn't have a maximum in there, and last we saw, his deck revolved around Ydragio, the Heavenly Dragon Emperor. So, what's he gonna do? And doesn't Asana have Garlean's Ace Monster? It's gonna be really weird seeing how these decks are gonna operate now. That they don't really, have their main centerpieces within them. So that's quite fascinating in of itself. Winning the duel isn't the goal or the most important thing for these characters though, as long as the characters remember their past. A lot of passion and emotion will be shown throughout these duels, and I can't wait to see it all displayed on screen. I want the Machine Cavalry Club to remain, so please Asana, remember and don't destroy the club like you are going to, because that'll be pretty sad. So overall, I really liked this episode. It was a lot of fun to watch. Plus, we got some great setup for the next episode. It got me hyped, so bring on episode 83. Hopefully we get some more Flower Fang cards and support, because Rinosuke's Flower Fang armor, Ace Monster, seems really cool. Not as great or cool as Flower Fang Kunoichi in Transfer, because that card is just awesome in and of itself. Still though, I'm interested to see what this new Ace can do. Plus, who wore the outfit better? Was it Ranze or Nanaho? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. But I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, like, comment your thoughts, and of course, subscribe for more things Yu-Gi-Oh! Have a great day, alligator, matane, goodbye.